Hello, my name is Aubrey, and today I'm going to be doing my own original tag. So I'm calling this the October Favorites book tag. October is my favorite month of the year. I just love fall. I love fall-themed stuff. So I came up with a bunch of prompts based on sort of fallish, October-y things. I know that I've been on BookTube for all of 5 minutes, but if you are a booktuber, I hope that you will do this tag also. If you are just a booktube viewer, maybe you can pass this along to one of your favorite booktubers. I had a lot of fun making this tag, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. The first question is Pumpkin Patch. Pick your favorite book or series with a large cast of characters. So for this, I just picked kind of an obvious one, and that is Six of Crows. I don't think I need to talk too much about this. There are 6 main characters in Six of Crows. They are wonderful, complicated, diverse characters that I love very, very much. Question number 2 is Foggy Morning. Name a book or series that gave you strong mixed feelings. So for this, I chose Uprooted by Naomi Novik. There were so many things that I loved about this book. I loved the fairy tale-esque writing style. I loved the atmosphere. I loved this creepy, magical wood. There's a female friendship in this that I just absolutely adore and sort of took me by surprise because nobody really talks about the book as having a strong female friendship in it. But I really did not like the romance in this book. I thought it was icky. I thought that the dragon was too mean. It's supposed to be kind of a Beauty and the Beast retelling-ish. It's got Beauty and the Beast vibes, but the plot takes a really different turn. I don't know if Naomi Novik started out with this being a Beauty and the Beast retelling or not. It, like I said, it kind of has those vibes. Again, I just thought the dragon was so rude and condescending to our main character, and I just really couldn't get behind the romance at all. I felt like he didn't change in the book the way that he needed to, Again, not sure if this was supposed to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but the way that Beast sort of grows as a character changes. The dragon does not do that. He's just kind of an a-hole throughout the whole book, and the romance, I felt, sort of came out of, not that it came out of nowhere, but I couldn't understand why the protagonist was interested in him at all. And I also felt like the plot does take a kind of a strange turn that I wasn't expecting when I first read it. And I felt like this almost could have benefited from being a series, just because the world kind of opens up in Act 2, or at least, maybe halfway through the book, it sort of opens up. And I don't know, it felt kind of jarring, and it felt kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I had pretty mixed feelings about this book. Third question is Salem Witches. Name a character that you feel was wrongly judged or condemned, either in the book itself or by real-world readers and critics. So for this, I chose Spensa from Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. And not only is she wrongly judged in the book, so this is a YA sci-fi. Spensa lives on a planet where cowardice is sort of deemed the ultimate sin almost. It is just the worst thing you could ever be is a coward. And her father, it's been a while since I read this, so hopefully I'm going to get this synopsis right, but her father was a pilot, and he, in the middle of battle, seemingly deserted the battle and was named a coward. And he dies, I think, or goes missing. And so his family is kind of burdened with this label of being attached to his cowardice. And our main character, Spensa, absolutely abhors this, and she doesn't believe that her father is truly a coward, and she is kind of trying to, sort of make a new name for herself. She's trying to overcome that label of cowardice. So there are those aspects in the book, but I also feel like Spensa as a character is just wrongly judged in the book community too. I saw so many people talking about how annoying she is as a character. And like, she's 14, and I'm so sorry to be the one to tell you this, but like, we were all really annoying when we were 14, and I felt like the fact that she was really annoying was really relatable to me, because like, I know that I was really annoying, and I know that I was kind of weird and awkward, and I don't know, she felt really real to me. She felt like a real 14-year-old, as opposed to some YA books where you feel like the protagonists are way too old for their age. I don't know, I really appreciated that Spencer was kind of frustrating and unlikable, you know? Like, it felt like that was the right choice. I really liked Spencer. I appreciated her angst and her teenageriness. Question number 4 is Black Cat, a wickedly dark book or series you are excited to read this month. So for that, I have picked Pet Sematary, which interestingly does have a cat on the cover. It's not a black cat, but it is a really scary looking cat. This is a classic Stephen King. It's about a family who moves into a house next to I don't know what you call it, but just a very busy road, not a highway, but a road that is taken by these big Mack trucks. And so these Mack trucks sort of barrel through past their house. And up a ways from their house is a pet cemetery that is cursed. And when you bury things in the cemetery, they don't stay dead and they come back wrong. So I think what happens in like the first part of the book is that the cat gets run over in the road and they bury the cat, and it is like an evil cat. So yeah, I am really, really excited to get to this month. It just sounds so creepy and just wonderfully October. So question number 5 is Leaf Pile, a fictional world you'd be happy to physically jump into. And for that, I'm going to choose the world of Tortal by Tamora Pierce. She has many books written in the Tortal world. I hope I'm saying that right. I read these as a kid, and I just think that the world of Tortal would be just, I don't know, a really wonderful world to visit. Obviously, bad things do happen here, but the world is still really feminist. It's really beautiful. It's really magical. And yeah, I just think this would be a really wonderful fictional world to jump into. Question number 6, Crackling Fire, a book or series with a romance that sets you aflame. And while I'm not a big romance reader, I do have 2 kind of options for this. One is Juliet and Warner from the Shatter Me series. I absolutely loved these books, this original trilogy. I'm pretty sure I read books 2 and 3 in like a single sitting each. I just sat down and devoured them. I was totally swept up into the romance. I loved it so much. And then my other option would be Simon and Baz from Carry On. I have it back here in my little autumnal book stack. But yeah, I absolutely love Simon and Baz. I was totally smitten with their relationship in that book. So question number 7 is Full Moon, name a character who drives you crazy. And for this, I picked Shadow from American Gods because I was just always really frustrated with Shadow because I felt like no matter what happened in the book, he was always just like at 5, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, he was just always at 5. And I don't know, it just like really, really bugged me, and it kept me from connecting with him as a character, and it kept me kind of pulled out of the story because like lots of weird stuff happens in this. It's a Neil Gaiman book. It's a thick boy. Like, we encounter all kinds of strange magical things that happen in this book, and I feel like Shadow never really properly reacted to any of it, at least in a way that made me feel like I could connect with him and that he was like a real character, you know? So maybe that was just a choice that Neil Gaiman was going for to make him a little more apathetic. I'm not sure, but it didn't work for me. He drove me a little crazy. Question number 8, Halloween costume, a book or series you wish would get a cover change. So I kind of had trouble with this one because, I don't know, I feel like a lot of the series that I would have picked are getting cover changes, but I finally decided on the Unwind Dystology by Neil Shusterman. This is one of my absolute favorite YA dystopians ever. But I feel like these covers look awfully dated. I don't know when this first book was published, but they just kind of have this funny, like, older YA look. I think they're fine, but they're not necessarily my style. I know that these do have other covers in the paperbacks, but I don't like those either. I guess I would wish for them to get an additional cover change. Question number 9 is Apple Pie, a book that made you hungry. For this, I picked The Wrath and the Dawn. I read this several years ago and I enjoyed it, but I remember that Renee Ahdieh, the way that she describes food in that book was just delicious. Like, she made everything just really come to life and sparkle, and it made me hungry. Question number 10 is Corn Maze, a book or series with a lot of twists and turns. And for this, I am going to go with the Wayward Pine series by Blake Crouch. I read this at the end of last year, 2019, and I could not put them down. I was absolutely hooked from page 1. It's about a man who wakes up in this very bizarre town and he can't figure out what's going on, and strange things keep happening to him, and he can't seem to get any straight answers from anyone, and he can't seem to contact home. And it is just sort of a super twisty, windy book where you just have no idea what's going on until the very, very end, and I loved it. Question number 11 is Hot Chocolate. Name a comfort book or series that makes you warm inside. And for this, I have Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. I absolutely love Alice in Wonderland. I have fond memories of sitting in my dad's lap while he read this book to me, and to me it's just so special and cozy and whimsical and wonderful, and yeah, I just adore this book. This is the Puffin and Bloom edition, by the way. It's absolutely stunning. Question number 12 is Jack-o'-lantern, a bloated book or series you wish you could carve up. So for this, I'm going to choose It by Stephen King. I read this 2 years ago, and it put me in the worst reading slump. There was so much that I loved about that book. I think that Stephen King writes young boys really, really well. Not necessarily young girls, but he writes young boys really, really well. He understands what's scary to kids, what's important to kids. I think he understands like childhood, like politics really well, and those relationships. So I loved I loved most of the chapters with the children. I thought that Pennywise was a pretty scary monster, and I was interested in kind of unraveling the mystery behind Pennywise, but the book was just too long. There are so many chapters that are just completely irrelevant to the plot. I know some people might like that. They might like getting to know arbitrary backstories to certain characters that serve no purpose whatsoever. I did not, and by the end of the book, I was just really, really frustrated. There's also like a really gross scene that happens at the end. It's kind of famous, but I didn't know about it going into the book, and I'm not sure if I want to talk about it here because some people might not want to know, but yeah, it was really off-putting, and I wish I could take that out of the book entirely. It serves absolutely no purpose whatsoever, and it put such a bad taste in my mouth. It kind of borderline ruined the book for me, honestly. I mean, there was so much that I loved about it. I just wish I could like carve away all of the little like bloated bits and the bad bits, and then I could have just this like perfect scary Stephen King horror novel that I wanted going into it. Question number 13 is Changing Leaves, your opinion of a book or series that has changed over time. And I think that the sort of obvious answer for this for me would be Twilight. So back in the day, I was a huge like diehard Twilight fan. I think we all were. I hope we all were. But Yeah, I loved Twilight. I was obsessed with Twilight. I had shirts, I had merch. My high school friend group at the time, we were like all obsessed with the books. You know, we all went to go see the movie when it came out, the first movie. Unironic, pure love. And I think my sophomore year or junior year of college, I was home for the summer and I was feeling nostalgic, and I picked them back up, wanting to relive all the magic of that series. And I think I got maybe all the way to the third book. I can't remember. There's a scene. Where Bella is trying to get to Jacob's house. Edward takes the motor out of her car or something. He removes something from her car so that she can't drive. And I put the book down then and there. I think it's in the third book. It might have been in the second. I'm not sure. But I put the book down then and there, and I was like, I can't do it anymore. And even up until that point, I wasn't quite enjoying them the same way I had when I was younger. But I think that level of just toxicity of him trying to control her in that way, of literally removing something from her car so she couldn't do what she wanted to do, I was like, no, I'm done. I am out. And yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's just funny what you think is romantic when you're 16 versus what you find romantic when you're an adult. And then the last question, number 14, is graveyard ghosts, a character death that still haunts you. So, if you do not wish to be spoiled for The Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, you should exit here. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. And for those of you who have read the book or don't care about being spoiled, the death that still haunts me is Brimstone. I loved Brimstone so much. I was just really rooting for him to still be alive. I wanted him to be alive so bad. And there's a fake out somewhere in book 2, I think. It's been a while since I read them, but there's a fake out at one point in the series where you think maybe the main character has found him, and she didn't. It was someone else, and I was just so devastated because I wanted Brimstone to be alive so bad. So yeah, that's a character death that I still think about often. I don't know why, I just really loved Brimstone. I really wish I had a copy of A Daughter of Smoke and Bone to show you, but I got rid of my copies when I moved from New York because I had the American hardcovers, and I don't really like the way those look. But I think I will probably be purchasing maybe the new 10th anniversary UK ones. They look so pretty. But yeah, that's a series that I literally still think about sometimes. It wasn't my favorite. I had sort of complicated feelings about it, but I still think about it. It was just really unlike anything I've ever read. Anyway, sorry. Thank you so much for watching my tag. Like I said, if you are a booktuber, please feel free to do it. I don't know anyone yet to tag, but if you want to do it, you are officially tagged. And like I said, if you're a viewer, please feel free to pass this along to someone you think might enjoy doing it. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more from me, and like the video if you liked it. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.